say cheese!
You muddy fugglers, sit down, get yourselves comfortable. We're going to read some news. The older I get, the more I realise what I was told as a child, that was history, is just somebody's interpretation of the remnants of the past. And some of these archaeologists, their interpretations are based on biases that they contain of the world around them. And one of the clearest examples of that I see is whenever you find an artifact from 50,000 years ago or whatever, that is really impressive. For some reason we all have to think it's connected to religious ceremony. But the point is, we don't really know what happened in the past. We only think we know. Maybe there were cultures, races, and civilizations in the past that are much more advanced than we think. So what unknowns are there in our species' ancestry? Well, we'll find out maybe on this article from The Telegraph, written by Sarah Knapton. Humans carry DNA from mysterious ancestors. Researchers find genetic traces from ghost populations from thousands of years ago. Humans carry the DNA of two mysterious ghost ancestors who passed on their genes before going extinct, researchers have said. It has been known for some time that Homo sapiens have Neanderthal DNA, as well as genetic code from another group of archaic humans called the Denisovans, who died out about 30,000 years ago. Now, scientists have found traces of much earlier hominids, one who would have lived in Africa about 800,000 years ago, and one who probably existed alongside Homo erectus, probably a direct ancestor of humans, in Eurasia about 1.8 million years ago. No direct evidence of these ancestors has ever been found in the fossil record, but they have been inferred by the study of the genomes of modern humans. The findings suggest that an unidentified ghost population contributed DNA to the ancestors of all modern humans before they disappeared out of Africa about 50,000 years ago. Yuling Zhang, a University of California, Berkeley graduate student and first author of the study, said researchers were able to show that this ghost ancestry is in all modern humans, not only in Africans. The DNA of the mysterious ancestral duo makes up about 0.5 to 1% of human DNA. Dr. Arjun Bidanda, a researcher at Johns Hopkins University and co-first author of the study, said the finding is particularly exciting because it reveals genetic contributions from a human lineage that lived over 1 million years ago, despite the absence of any sequenced DNA from that population. Only one species of the Homo genus exists today, Homo sapiens. And in the past there were many different species, between 4 and 9 different types living at the same time, and sometimes coming into contact with each other. The whole discussion between whether or not races exist kind of overlays onto this, because if you're claiming that Neanderthals were a separate race of humans, then why is it we were able to interbreed with them? Were they not just a different race of human? Could they not be equally other groups of humans alive today that are very different, that we refer to as races, but actually would effectively be seen as different branches of the human tree? I know if you were to make a comparison maybe of Aboriginal person in Australia and maybe, I don't know, a Chinese person, they're quite different, aren't they? I mean, they're physiologically different. Are there any difficulties in having children between different racial groups in the world today? I wonder. That's a good question. Just asking questions. Because if that were the case, would we not see them as being almost the beginnings of a different species of humanity? Would we not? I mean, if you can't breed with something, then it's a different species. You know what I mean? Anyway, where were we? Only one species of the Homo genus exists today, Homo sapiens, but in the past there were many different species with between 4 and 9 types living at the same time, and sometimes coming into contact with each other. About 2% of the modern human genome comes from archaic hominids. When modern humans first moved out of Africa, they interbred with 2 much older hominid lineages in Eurasia and the Neanderthals and Denisovans. While those older lineages went extinct, they left some of their DNA in modern humans that could be matched to fossil remains. But researchers also saw hints of much earlier interbreeding. from two distinct lineages which were neither Neanderthal nor Denisovan, but they did not match anything in the fossil record. The ghost lineage was found in all humans, indicating that the gene flow must have happened before modern humans made their final excursion out of Africa and spread rapidly throughout the world, replacing all other species of Homo. Using genetic data from the modern individuals from around the world, the team was able to work out how far back this ancient genetic code was added. Much of it was found in regions of Denisovan DNA, suggesting that it came from humans through that route. Many archaic segments are in regions associated with immunity and metabolic function. This pattern is not entirely surprising, added Dr. Priya Morjani, Associate Professor of Molecular and Cell Biology from the University of California, Berkeley. Adaptation to new pathogens and food sources has been one of the strongest selective pressures in human evolution. Interbreeding with other human groups introduced new genetic variation, providing additional raw material for natural selection. Beneficial variants could then be retained and spread over many generations. By identifying regions whose ancestry extends unusually far back in time, we can uncover genetic contributions from extinct human populations, even in the absence of ancient DNA. The research was published in the journal Science. So they're uncovering ancestral humans by debugging our DNA. I mean, they mentioned it here that it's present in all human populations, so it must have been present before they left Africa. So those groups must have been in Africa, I guess, if we're going with the idea that humans originated from Africa. Which, is the commonly accepted theory. I think it's pretty safe to say that they looked kind of like us, whoever they were. Perhaps they had smaller heads. Strange lumpy eyebrows, that seemed to be all the rage back in, in prehistoric days. This whole thing brings to the surface what the issue is between races and species. You can see it even clearer in dogs. I mean, all dogs can breed together. We all say that it's just a dog, whether it's a Chihuahua or a Great Dane, but if they can breed, they are part of the same species, but they look entirely different. And I guess, what is the definition of species? Should we ask the internet? A species is a basic group of living things such as plants or animals that share similar features that can mate with each other or have young. Exactly. So Neanderthals were not a species, they were just a different race of humans. It's weird that we refer to them as a species. But anyway, our past is much more varied and complex than perhaps we've been led to believe. And there's a couple more ancestors on our tree that we are only just beginning to discover. So that's pretty interesting. But that is going to be it for now. Thank you for joining me. Wherever you are, if you like what I do, consider pressing that like button. Proper like me. You can also follow me. If you follow me where you're at, that's fine. But a good place to follow me would also be x.com/UltraSwinery. That's the goodiest place, because that's where I post all my other pigly related content. But that is it for now. And the only
Oink, oinkity, snort, snuffle, snuffle, squee, oink, oink, wee, squeal, snort, snort, oinkity, squee. Oink, 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 squee, squee, wee, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squee, oink, 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 wee, 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 oh. Snort, snuffle, oink, squee, squeal, wee, snort, oinky, oinkity, oink, oink, snuffle, wee, squee, snort, oink, squeal. Oink, 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 squee, squee, wee, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squee, oink, 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 wee, 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 oh. Oink, oinkity, snort, snuffle, snuffle, squee, oinkity, oink, oink, snuffle, wee, squee, snort, oink, squeal. Oink, 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 squee, squee, wee, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squee, oink, 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 wee, 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 oh. Squeal, squeal. Snort, snuffle, oink, re, squeal, re, snort, oinky, oinkity, oink, 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 snuffle, re, squeeze, snort, oink, squeal, oink, oink, oinkity, squee, squee, re, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squeal, oink, 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 reel, squeal, squeal, snort, snuffle,